Thrasher Chronicles, how I stopped smoking cigarettes. I'd smoked cigarettes for 20 years. Of those 20 years, I smoked Marlboro Reds for probably 15 of them. And I got to the point where I was smoking 2 packs a day consistently. I knew what time of the day it was by how many cigarettes were left in my pack. I mean, it was clockwork. Hell, I was so bad that I would wake up in the middle of the night, go hot box a cigarette real quick, go back to bed, and boom, down for the count. I was bad. I got to the point where I wanted to start breathing better again, and I just knew that I needed to stop smoking cigarettes. So how this came about, that I found the strength to do it, was my friend Johnny Leak had come in from out of town. He had lived down the street from me growing up, and he came over, and this is when I was still living in my duplex over on St. Clair in Longview, Texas. And we sat there and smoked a bowl together, some weed. Yeah, that's right. We fired up a bowl inside, and then we're like, "Hey man, you want to go outside and smoke a cigarette?" He goes, "I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but I'll come outside with you." I was like, "You quit? How'd you do that?" "Man, I read this book called The Easy Way to Stop Smoking." It's like, "No shit. Cool, man." So we go outside, burn. Johnny goes on his way. Like 6 months later, Johnny comes back by. Same scenario. Smoke a bowl. "Hey man, you go smoke a cigarette?" "Still don't smoke." "Yeah, I'll go outside with you." "No shit. You still don't smoke?" "What was the name of that book again?" "Easy Way to Stop Smoking." "Hell yeah." He goes, "Yeah, you can get it, Books A Million." Cool. I tell April for like the next 2 months, since she drove back and forth right past Books A Million, and said, "Hey, on your way home from work today, why don't you stop by and get that book, Easy Way to Stop Smoking?" She never would. She never did. Kind of pissing me off at some point. I was like, "Why will you not go get that book for me?" And she said, "When you really want to stop smoking, you'll go get that book yourself." Damn, all right. So probably another month goes by, and I finally decided to go get it. I go down there, I ask people, "Hey, where's this book?" They said, "It's over there, self-help section." Cool. Go buy it. Thing sits on my counter for probably another month. And then I sat there and read a couple of pages in it and was like, "This is pretty good. Yeah, I think I can do this." I'm not real good with change, so I actually was working for this real prick of a boss when I was building houses. Sorry, Jim, if you see this. I mean, we just didn't get along that well with work. Outside work, we were all right. But I went in and I told Jim on a Monday, I said, "Hey, man, this is my plan. I'm going to read this book. It's only 100 pages long. I'm going to read this book, and on Friday, I'm going to stop smoking cigarettes. It'll be March 11th, 2011. I'm going to stop smoking cigarettes that day." And he goes, "Okay, sounds like a good plan, man." I said, "Well, I'm going to take Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. I'm not going to work it all then." He goes, "All right, sounds good." So I kind of do that. I make my way through the book, and I'm cruising along, and I'm timing it to where each night I read just a little bit. I'm getting my head right. I'm getting a game plan together. If you want to succeed at something, you got to kind of have a plan. So I'm working my plan, and I'm getting there. Friday comes along. That was not a fun day for me. I remember laying in bed, like trying to sleep an extra long sleep that day, because I was like, if I just don't wake up, I don't have to deal with smoking. I'm laying there in bed, my chest is just pounding because I'm terrified of breaking this cycle that I'm in. I can already feel my body craving. And April comes in there and she tells me that there had been a tsunami in Japan, and all this horrible stuff was happening, and I was so mind scrambled that I couldn't even process what she was telling me. I don't know, just quitting cigarettes. I wind up making it, to day 7. Hadn't had a cigarette, eating a whole lot of sunflower seeds, a lot of them. And I get to day 7 and I call April. I'm not having a good day. I'm at the duplex at lunch, call her at work, and we're talking, and she says, you know what, if you have a red, don't plan on getting in bed with me. We suddenly went from something that I wanted to do to her telling me that I couldn't do something. That pissed me off. Anybody knows me very well knows I don't take real well to that. I've worked on that too. But at that point in time, I did not want to hear that. So I struggle. Now I'm fighting, you can't do this, and your body's saying you want to smoke. And every habitual habit, because everything I did revolved around cigarettes. I woke up, had a cigarette. I ate, had a cigarette. Everything, I had a cigarette. I had a cigarette. I had a cigarette. You got to have a cigarette for a cigarette. I get to day 13. I call April again. And this time I'm crying. I'm in actual tears, and I'm sitting there saying, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm strong enough to do this. And I'm just beside myself. And April's trying to be kind of sympathetic. And I said, listen, the guy in the book said that he was a 3 to 5 pack a day smoker, and that he had to go do hypnosis to be able to stop smoking. And so that's what I was going to do. I was like, I'm going to go do hypnosis. I'm telling April, hey, let's get me in to do some hypnosis. And she says, I don't even know where it is. Like, there's a place on Gilmore Road. I've seen it. I've driven past it, hypnosis. And so she called him for me. She called him, and I'm at the house and I'm all freaking out. She calls me back and says, all right, here's the deal. They have a 95% success rate for people who make it a year without smoking. And I'm like, damn, that's a hell of a success rate. All right, how much does it cost? She said it's $350. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, man, I could buy X amount of packs of cigarettes for that. Fighting with myself. So, all right, it's a lot of money. But, all right, I'll do that. When can I get in? She said, I can't get you in there for another 2 weeks. They're booked solid. And I just hit the floor. I'm like, I can't make it another 2 weeks. I can't make it another 2 weeks. I mean, I'm struggling right now. I'm in tears. And she goes, Jeff, I understand this is difficult for you. And if you want to commit to doing this, I fully understand if you want to go get some lozenges, Nicorette, the gum, or whatever. And if worse comes to worse, go buy a pack of Reds. Because, not everybody's strong enough to quit cold turkey. I sat there. I don't know if she fully realized what she did in that moment. She took away that challenge of you can't smoke. She related to what I was going through. I felt this calm come over me. She said, like I said, not everybody's strong enough to quit cold turkey. I don't know if she realized she challenged me. Because by God, I am strong enough. In that moment, I didn't think I was. But I said, I've already made it 13 days. I've already made it 13 days. let's see if I can make it 2 weeks. And she said, that's fine. I'll call and make an appointment right now, and we'll get you signed up. I said, all right, cool. I'm good with that. She said, if you get to the point where they'll allow you to cancel the appointment 24 hours beforehand, won't charge you anything. So, okay, that's cool. Go ahead, set it up. Let's do that. Right after that, I'm telling you, total calm came over me. Right after that, I went back to work, and my coworker and I proceeded to get our asses chewed out by Jim and his halitosis mouth. I mean, literally, you could be 10 feet across the room and just engulfed with his breath. It stinks so damn bad. And I'm sitting there getting chewed out royally for something that was not my problem, not my fault, and I just had enough. I got up out of that office. I walked in there to Rita, the office manager, and said, I'm done with this job. I can't take this anymore. I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. And I left. I came back and I handed her that 2 weeks notice. Next day on Friday, I said, did you give Jim my 2 weeks notice? And she goes, no, we won't talk about it with him right now. He's got some stuff going on. We'll bring it up later. I'm like, all right, whatever. So that weekend, Jim and I actually saw each other at one of the houses that he was building. I was superintendent on. And, we didn't even talk about it. I remember him on Monday. He called me in his office and he said, so Rita says that you're putting in your 2 weeks notice. I said, yes, sir. He said, why didn't you tell me that over the weekend? She told me not to. He said, Jeff, I remember you coming in here 2 weeks ago and you were so excited because you're going to be quitting cigarettes. And you were gonna quit cigarettes, and you were so happy. And here you are now falling apart because you're quitting cigarettes, and now you're gonna quit your job. You're gonna quit this great job that I provide for you. I said, yeah, I'm quitting this job because, Jim, I cannot quit smoking cigarettes and keep working for you. Either way, cigarettes and this job are both gonna kill me. He goes, I want you to remember something. I want you to remember something. You're going to look back on this day and you're going to regret doing this because you're probably going to start smoking cigarettes again. And then you're going to sit there and think about the job that you threw away and the opportunities you threw away. I said, well, if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. And that was my last day. I got up and walked out. That was just over 10 years ago. I have not touched a cigarette since. And I do not regret getting up and walking out of that office. Now, something else. I didn't go to that hypnosis either. The comfort of having a strong woman behind me and having my back was all I needed. So, find strength where you can. Whether it's a strong woman, a strong friend, whatever you got to do, a book. And by God, if you got to quit your damn job because you can't stop smoking and keep it, it's worth it. If y'all got any questions on how to quit, hit me up. I'll talk you through it all day long, just like my friends did me. And that's how I quit smoking cigarettes.